If a tree falls in a forest and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? A classic philosophical question. With no one around to hear it, we only know the tree fell by the trunk on the ground. But what did we miss? As it crashed to the ground, vibrations moved in every direction. From an analytical perspective, rather than a philosophical one, those vibrations exist, whether you hear them or not. We can even measure them. Let's take a closer look. This is ASU. Sound is a vibration. Sound waves travel through a medium, usually air, but also water, solids, humans, through pretty much everything. Your eardrum is a membrane that waves back and forth in response to incoming sound vibrations. The movement of the eardrum vibrates ossicles, tiny bones in your ears, and eventually the vibrations are transferred to the fluid-filled cochlea. And movement in this fluid activates cilia, tiny hair cells in the inner ear, which have a direct neural connection to the brain, and send electrical pulses through the auditory nerve into the brain, which takes these incoming electrical signals and turns them into sounds our brain can understand. A microphone is similar. A membrane, often called a diaphragm, vibrates back and forth, and this movement creates electrical signals in a pattern that matches the incoming sound waves. A microphone is a transducer, something that converts mechanical wave energy, a sound wave, into electrical energy. A computer can interpret the electrical signals just as the brain's auditory cortex interprets the pulses from the cilia. There are three physical properties of sound vibrations themselves that determine what we hear. First is frequency, which humans hear as pitch, whether something is high or low. Then amplitude, which is the strength of the wave, and which humans sort of hear as volume, although it's not linearly related. Volume is a perceptual quality described by how we experience loudness, which is not directly related to amplitude. And finally, timbre, which is the quality of a sound, meaning how we determine if something is a song or a construction truck, and how we identify specific voices of friends and family. Timbre is which frequencies are in the sound and what amplitudes they are at. When we digitize sound into audio, we can analyze the audio for these physical properties, which means we can use mathematical and computational processes to figure out the mix of frequencies and their amplitudes in an audio signal. The process of converting a physical phenomenon, the sound wave, into an electrical signal the computer can understand is called an analog to digital conversion, often shortened to its acronym ADC. Once the signal is inside of a computer, we have all kinds of ways to alter it using computer software that is specifically built for audio editing. We can speed it up, slow it down, mix it with other sounds, apply filters to make certain parts of the sound louder and other parts softer. A process that takes the altered digital audio as electrical signals and turns it back into physical vibrations via a speaker is called the digital to analog conversion, or DAC DAC. A common way of visualizing analyzed audio is a spectrogram, which uses the y-axis as frequency and color as amplitude. Here is a spectrogram of a bird call. We analyze audio for all sorts of reasons, some very common and practical: speech recognition and transcription, recognizing specific voices. Some very artistic, to create understanding of sounds that aid in the production of music. One ecologist, David Dunn, even recorded tree trunks to listen to hear if they were infested with bark beetles, enabling uninfected trees to be saved from destruction. In my field of interactive media arts, we create and produce music and sound, but we also analyze audio so that we can transform it into something else, something expressive, meaningful aesthetic. So whether you think that tree made a sound when it fell or it didn't, is kind of neither here nor there. We can record the physical manifestations of sound in the tiniest detail. Those vibrations permeated that forest when the tree fell. And if someone was there to process those vibrations with their brain or a microphone, then they would have had their peaceful forest scene disturbed by a very noisy event. This was ASU. Thanks for watching.